Hey everybody, welcome back to Moody Booty Podcast. I am your host, Alicia Shea, and let's just get right into it. So, it has been a long time coming with everything revolving this podcast, and one thing that I touch on in most of these episodes, because we still are in the very beginning, is that your girl is still getting herself together. Simply, as short as it could be, that's what it is. And so I told you guys that I wanted to keep you guys in the loop with a lot of things that are supposed to be coming. My background, if I wanted to right now, could be drastically different because I already got the stuff for it. Mind you, I actually went ahead and pre-set it up because I was so excited, and there was a couple of things with the background specifically that when everything came in, or when the main piece came in, I should say, it was a lot smaller than I envisioned it to be, which is a problem because it just kind of throws it, like, it just throws the background off, if that makes sense. But I was still gonna thug it out, right? Kept it up, everything, whatever. And because your girl still works a 9 to 5, and every Fridays we do this virtual meeting where the cameras are on and everything, and I couldn't have the background be what it is. So I wound up taking it down, and then I was just like, bruh, to take this down every week to then put it back up every week is going to be really time consuming. And I work my 9 to 5 and film the podcast in the exact same spot. So that's one thing that I'm still trying to navigate on, the best way to have a background while filming. It's almost like I need to find a new spot for either where I work or where I film. It's something that I want to talk to you guys about as far as a future background, or even just potentially waiting to have a background. Your girl's supposed to be moving, not anytime soon, like not within like the next couple weeks or anything, but further down the road, a little longer than a couple of months, I should be moving. And I was thinking by then I'll have a better setup to be able to have a real background. So that, I don't know. If you guys have any ideas on what I should be doing or what you guys think may work, definitely let me know, because yeah, that putting up, taking down, putting up, like, you guys could understand like where I'm coming from. Like, that just sounds like a lot. Anyways, so there's that. And I don't even want to be on camera with the hair that I have. I'm actually dressed right now because after I film, I actually want to run out to the beauty supply store to kind of find a new color. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I was kind of set on like a neon green, but that's so bright. And I really feel like something like maybe this green. I know there was 2 different shades there, but maybe like this. That's really bright though, and I do feel like it will still look really nice, but I have some things coming up within the next couple of weeks that I just don't really think that loud hair, or specifically that color, I'm not feeling it. So then I was like, okay, well, how do you feel about blue? How do you feel about purple? So let me know down in the comments what you guys would think. I feel like I'm kind of closer to purple. I feel like that might be cute. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, just bear with this hair through the podcast. And a lot of people are like, oh my god, it looks good. Do you see like the 2 different blondes? So when it's not done at all, like, I actually threw a couple curls in it. So the hairstyle, it's not even a hairstyle because my hair looks crazy, but having curls in it kind of distracts from the discoloration throughout my whole head. But like, if I wanted to just maybe straighten it or wear it down and curl, it just looks a mess. It looks a mess. So especially since it's so uneven and two-toned in like not a cute way, in my opinion. So again, just bear with ya girl. So while I have you guys here today, I kind of wanted to update you on the last, I would almost say the last month, specifically revolving around pregnancy. And yeah, so I'm trying to kind of think of like where I want to start. So I would say about a month. Okay, I want to say the last couple of months, baby fever between me and Theron has been an all-time high. I will say I feel like Theron started this baby fever. But I will say, like, so when me and Theron first got together, he was already ready for kids. He was ready. I already knew. I'm like, I just want to wait. my idea of having kids is I just kind of wanted to give myself, at least through my 20s, allowing me to be just like a single individual without any obligation, responsibilities, aka having a kid. And he was just always on board for having a child. So now, 7 years in, we are getting a little older. We're definitely closer to 30 than we are 20. And so I've been kind of entertaining the idea of like, oh, it would be nice. Like, it'd be nice. And don't get me wrong, like, baby fever throughout our relationship, especially on me, has definitely been intense. But the last couple of months have been crazy. And I don't know if it's a mix between like it's just about that time and we're feeling a little better about having children mixed with like everybody around us has kids, like especially his side of the family with his cousins, they're all becoming dads, so like you're seeing a lot more babies, and it's just a thing, like, and so the last couple of months he's just been like, babe, like let's just go for it, let's just have a baby. And so I'm just like, I don't know, and anyway, I've been around his cousin's girlfriend the last couple of weeks, and she first of all, they have a beautiful son, and she's pregnant right now, and I just feel like I'm just taking it all in, And anyways, I'm trying to like get my thoughts together so I'm not like rambling the whole time I'm filming, but yeah, so it's been really, really intense to the point where it's just like I wouldn't even say, not to get too TMI or graphic, but us doing stuff has never been, like, we've never taken precaution, right? Ever. So, but with that being said, I would like to almost explain it in a way of saying it's almost like we're probably a step away from trying. Like, if we're not, like, actually trying, the last couple of months, we've just been more reckless than usual. And, yeah, so I don't know if you girls track your periods or anything like that or what you use, but I use the Flow app, and I've used it for a couple of years now, and I really, really like it. I also think I pay for the yearly subscription. It just comes with like more things within the app, and it's just like really detailed. Like, I love it, from menstruating to tips to, it just touches on hella shit, like the woman's body, symptoms, what you could be going through. You could even take quizzes. At the end of the quiz, you could have a conversation with the doctor, and they're able to give you like their quick diagnoses, and you're able to read like articles. They talk on masturbation. They talk about female infertility, male infertility. Like, it's just a wide range of stuff. So I really, really do enjoy the app. And one of the things that they also talk about is pregnancy, and you're able to track like your flow, your discharge, when you take a pregnancy test, just all the symptoms that a woman can feel: headache, nausea, fatigue, if your mood, and it just is very specific. And I just really like the app, right? And so anyways, within the app, you're also able to track like if you had protected sex, if you didn't, and stuff like that. And I've always been the type to try to track the days that I did have sex, if I could remember to do so. But the last couple of months, I've really been on it. And at least a month ago, if not a month and a half ago, him and I, did the do and everything, and baby talk was being talked about and stuff. So I was already kind of like trying to track like the possibilities of, right? And then the like random shit started happening. Random shit, like me feeling a type of way, like me just like, I've been like in a super glowy spirit. I've had people call me saying like, oh my God, in your last video, you looked a little extra glowy. I had people text me, people I haven't even spoke to in months, texting me, and they're like, hey, I was actually thinking about you. Like, are you okay? Like, things like, I just wanted to reach out, make sure you're good. I've had stuff like that happen. Then, right, my mom messaged me one morning and was just like, hey, so I had a dream that I was pregnant. And I was just like, oh. And she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, good talk. And so she's like, no, usually when I have that dream, somebody's pregnant. And I was just like, oh, well, you should probably ask your daughters, because we strap up over here, knowing that I don't. And so she was just like, no, that's not who I'm thinking it is. And at that point, I'm just like, well, say what you mean. Like, get it off your chest. No, I'm just kidding. But it was just so weird. It was so freaking weird. And then Theron's actually feeling some type of ways, and he was talking about it hella much. And then anyways, I wound up. Oh. Another thing had happened one day. I was completely fine, right? And then us as women, like, just so many fucking hormones, we could be in a great mood, and then maybe, like, we just feel, like, a little heavier emotionally. And so my mom gets home, and I'm on the couch, and my mood just kind of changed. Not because of her, but it changed. And I wasn't trying to be social. I didn't really want to talk and everything, right? And so I told her that. I was just like, Mom, like, I just kind of want to be out here chilling on the couch. Like, I don't really want to talk. And so she was like, cool, because I don't either, right? And then some time had passed, maybe like 20 minutes, maybe 10, 20 minutes. And she was like, I was like, I don't know. I just feel like my period is coming, but like, I literally just got off. And so like, she swung her head at me and she's like, I feel the exact same way. And so like, that was a thing that came up. And then I'm on the phone with my friend a couple days ago, and so she was just like, yeah. So she was like one of the people that was just like, I don't know, like in your videos, like you just kind of seemed like a little more glowy than usual, and I kind of just maybe suspected and everything. And I don't know, it's just been weird. And then like the last couple of weeks, him and I have been doing it a lot more, right? And so I know based off of the tracker that my period isn't due for like another 2 weeks. And this is currently, like, you know, right now. It's not due for another couple weeks. And so I did fuck around last week, and I took, like, 2 pregnancy tests. And those came back negative. And so I'm like, okay, well, I literally just had, you know, sex. So it's probably... But I was also basing it off of the couple of weeks before that, like when I said, like about a month and a half ago is when... So I was just kind of, like, testing just to make sure, like, we're all good. Especially since after my mom just texted me on the random, I was just like, so I had a dream somebody's pregnant. And, but then they came back negative, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I already knew that it would have been, I didn't think it was too early to test based off of the couple of weeks before, but because we had just did it, I was like, well, maybe it's too early because you already know how that shit goes, and you're also not missing a period, like your period's still a couple weeks out, like maybe test after your period. So anyways, and throughout this time, I'm also experiencing light cravings, but like I also had to be real with myself and been like, everything that you're feeling physically really isn't anything out of the usual, like whether it be cravings, being tired, sweating, like chest pain, like not when I say chest pain, I mean the girls. Like none of those things were out of the ordinary, especially if I was really gonna start my period. I get all those things anyways, but one thing that was stuck out is like I really don't get cramps if I'm not, like when I was younger I used to get cramps, but if I experience cramps now, it's usually when I'm already menstruating rather than like a couple of weeks before. So last week I was cramping, and so that was just kind of like another thing where I'm like anyways, so skip to yesterday. Or skip to the day before yesterday, my friend texted me and she was just like, hey, so I just started my period and I know you had to have. And I was like, no, I didn't. And so anyways, skip to yesterday, I actually started bleeding, which is what I would consider it spotting, because that's what it looked like. On top of the fact that the color was different. Skip to today, day 2, still the same color, a little heavier, and I hate to drag this all out for 14 minutes now, but I think it's honestly just my period. So there's that. But I still wanted to like have this conversation with whoever gives a fuck, because I feel like this is kind of just like a part of like my journey right now. I thought it would be really, really cool if first of all, there was a whole list of reasons as to why I thought it would be cool if I ended up pregnant. But if I had to be real with myself, there was also hella reasons for why I don't want to be pregnant. I really would prefer to just wait. Like, I'm 26 years old. I have a couple more years within my 20s. And if I can go one more year without a child, just to enjoy my solitude. I mean, obviously, like, within my relationship, whatever. But just more of, like, a not be upgraded to mommy just yet. Like, I could be okay with that. I do feel like if I was being completely real, I feel like sometimes especially like when I'm having baby fever, I do kind of like worry, stress out, or kind of like dump on myself in a way of thinking like, damn, like, why hasn't this happened yet though? Like, and so as a woman, one thing I also I want to stick on point, but I always felt the need of being like, am I broken? Can I not, like, do I not have like, does my body not have it to be able to produce a baby? Like, all those sorts of things, especially like me considering the fact that, I have been not going out of my way to have anything not happen within the X amount of years I've been into a relationship, which has been for a while. It's just, those thoughts kind of like come up, and I don't know. So sometimes me being real with myself, it's like, okay, are you ready for a baby, and do you want a baby, or are you wondering why it hasn't happened for you? And I will say this type of topic I've been wanting to talk about this topic, whether it be on this podcast or even my YouTube channel. But I guess I always wanted to like wait and keep baby content when it's time, meaning like maybe one day when I did get pregnant and then I was able to talk about all these things. But after talking with my friend, and I said that to her, I was just like, I want to be able to bring up the stuff that's happening in my life currently. I was like, but to talk about baby content like right now, and I'm not, like, I just kind of like want to keep it like all in its like same segment. And so, and I was like, but this is what I'm going through like right now, and this is kind of what I want to talk about. And she was like, talk about that shit. And I was like, period. So, excuse me. I'm bringing this to you guys today just to kind of like almost sort out my own feelings and maybe just share it to anybody who can relate. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, anyways, I wanted to say it's just one of those things where it's just like a girl just kind of gets like, it's like, it could be stressful. It could be stressful, and it could be very, very sad, or just like nerve-wracking, scary to be like, what the actual hell? The blessing in it though is, I know that there's so much more to work out. There's so much things that I want to do, like just financial stability, experiences, whether that mean more time in your relationship, more time with your friends, family, more freedom, traveling, just so many things. And then just also like centering myself as much as I can before motherhood. Like there's just, there's a sweetness to not being pregnant right now. And I also want to acknowledge like just the blessing of not being pregnant right now, like, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a blessing to have a baby. It would. It's just like, I'm also enjoying the blessing of not being a parent, so it's just, constant reminders in that area. One video that I came across last week, because I was like binging all baby content last week, like even a little the week before, like 2 weeks before I get a call, before I get into that story on TikTok, but 2 weeks before, I'm on the phone with Ron, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was just like, oh, I was just looking at cribs online. Like, the baby fever has been bad for the both of us. Anyways, I'll let him tell it another time. But so I was on TikTok last week. Excuse me. I was on TikTok last week, and it was this girl, and she was talking about her infertility experience, and she was basically saying, and I felt her, but she was basically saying, she's like, I'm not mad that I can't have a baby. She was like, I'm not mad at that. She's like, I'm mad that the whole time growing up as a young girl, so growing into my, adulthood as a woman, she's like, I'm just so mad that it was pressed upon us females to be like, yeah, like that's what your body's supposed to do. You're supposed, not in a forceful way, like no one, and we've never been for it. Well, I can only speak for me. It's like, but I think you guys can understand what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't forced, but it was just talked about, like put upon us. Like, yeah, like as a woman, like, women create, you have babies and you become mothers and everything else like that. And so she was just saying, like, I just hate, she's like, I get angry at hearing that, and then that being the one thing that like my body's not supposed to do. She's like, it just makes you feel a little less woman-like because your body is not able to, type of thing. And I felt where she was coming from. I felt her, and I was just like that. Yeah, I completely agree. And she was coming from a very wholesome place. I could tell she was just kind of like using that space to be just open and genuine and express where she was coming from. But yeah, I don't know. And then it even goes into like seeing or like being asked like when are you guys going to be trying, or like when is it your turn? And it's like there's so much that goes on behind closed doors where it's just like, believe me, when it's time, we'll share it and we'll let you know. I feel like it's just it adds on to more stress where it's like, when is it going to be your turn? And my kids need somebody to play with. And I know those things from those people come from a good place, but if it's just unnecessary added on stress. So I do hope that like that time is going to come for us. I'm excited for that time. I would like to work on not putting so much pressure on myself, or even just dumbing down on myself when it comes to that topic or that experience, because I like to believe that it will happen when it's perfectly timed to happen. There's so many more things that I could be doing within my life right now in this moment, focusing on my craft, just working on my health in every way, physically, mentally, spiritually, just so many things. And savings, like there's just so many things where I'm just like, it will come when it's time to come. Like, why rush it? And yeah, so I don't really know. It's been a couple, like 22 minutes, but I really wanted to get on here and talk about that because it was just crazy. Like, I definitely found myself getting my hopes up, but it's so crazy because, again, there's so much stuff that happens behind the scene, whether it mean endless amount of pregnancy tests or booking an appointment to see if there's something that's like that you could do, or just there's just so many things, remedies, nights where you guys do stuff, and then you also think that you take certain steps to, I don't know, I don't want to talk about the sex stuff too much, but there's just so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes for us. So for it to not happen, it's just like we wonder. And yeah, I just need to handle that better with more grace and a lot more patience, and just being hopeful. Like it'll happen at that very perfect time, you know? But I can't lie, I think I was definitely trying to be excited for the possibility, like, oh my gosh, like, what if I test? Like, I will freak the fuck out right now. And me and Thrawn were even talking about, like, how we want to surprise everybody, or just, like, more so, like, announce it. And I was just like, oh my God, like, how quick our life would change and everything. And in that moment, though, of getting excited, it was like I was purposely trying to not be excited. Like, it was like I would be like, yeah. Only because, yeah, so going back to just, like, behind the scenes, like, us women, especially if you haven't gotten pregnant right away or whatever the case may be for you, you've been there so many times where it's like every single time you may test or something like that, I wouldn't say the excitement goes down, but it's just more of like maybe your wall goes up a little more to be like, let me not get excited right now. Especially if you've been there a couple times, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much the last couple of weeks and what's that consist of. And then, Aunt Flo paid a great old visit, and that's where we're at right now. And again, like, there's just, I really do appreciate the mindfulness that I'm in, and just reminding myself that it's just like, it's going to be a blessing either way. Like, where I'm at right now in my life, not having a baby is literally not the worst thing. But I do look forward to the day that it happens for us. And that's really all I can say right now, actually. In all honesty and reality, one more thing, not to even change the subject, but low-key to change the subject. Hella stuffy right now. Like, I go my whole shift just fine. As soon as I start podcasting with you guys, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. So I don't know. I was working one day, right? And I was like, oh my God, you gotta talk about this in your next episode. And it's gonna be so random. You're gonna be like, half of you guys probably haven't even seen this fucking movie. But I'm working, and it randomly popped into my head. I could have been even thinking of how close me, my mom, and my sisters are, but still in the same breath, how personal we are in different ways. Meaning, right? So going back to my whole point. So there's this movie that I saw. It's with Miley Cyrus, and it's called LOL, LOL. And there's a part in the movie where Miley gets home after school and she walks into the bathroom, and her mom and her little sister, who is maybe about like 7, and Miley's in high school. She's like a senior or something. And so she walks into the bathroom, and her mom and her sister are in like this big ass bathtub, hella bubbles, like they're whatever, right? And so, wait, how old did I say the little sister was? I said like what, like 7 or 8 or something like that. Maybe she was even a little younger than that, but she was young, right? So they're both in the tub, and Miley and her mom are talking, and Miley's taking her clothes off in the same exact room, the bathroom. And then she gets in the tub with them. As close and unfiltered as me and my sisters are, that would have never happened. And so I was like, I gotta bring this to the pod and really ask people, like, are you on that type of level of comfort with your family? Like, it was just so weird. Like, it was just like one of those things. But I don't know if like maybe me and my family are just weird, where it's just like, what's the problem? You guys are all girls, like, why not? But like when I saw it, it took me a minute. And again, this was hella random. I'm not even watching the fucking movie. I'm working, and the idea popped into my head. I'm just like, why did they do that? Like, literally, okay, so as Miley took her pants down and like her clothes and stuff, her mom peeped her area and was just like, so-and-so, is that a Brazilian? I think she called her Lola. I think Miley may have been like Lola in the movie or something. And then she was like, Lola, is that a Brazilian? My mom would never dare. First of all, I wouldn't even take my pants off around her to jump into the same bathtub water as her anyways. But even if I did, it's just like, is that a Brazilian? You know? And then so Miley goes, oh my gosh, Mom, like, here I am trying to relax with my family. And it's like, that's how you guys relax? Like, it was like one of those, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a pool with a jacuzzi out back. Like, if we wanted that type of time, everybody get your bathing suits on. But it was just like one of those, you know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So, yeah, that was that. And then I had a couple, maybe like one more thing I wanted to bring up. Okay. I'm going to end it off here after this. And sorry, you guys, for the shorter podcast episodes. I have to upgrade my filming section. I'll be straightforward with you. This is being filmed off of a phone, right? And it gives that when the shit's uploaded. When I'm editing on my phone and everything, it looks crisp. As soon as that shit publishes or uploads to YouTube, it is so blotchy, and I genuinely don't like it. And I've noticed the shorter episodes just upload better. So sorry for keep knocking into this, but after, what was I gonna say? After I do upgrade my filming products and everything, I do see myself doing longer episodes, because I genuinely do just like chilling with you guys. But yeah, for right now, I'm sorry. It's just going to have to give what it is. But anyways, so if you asked me one of my most toxic traits, if I was real with myself, I can't say that I personally mind this toxic trait. Hear me out. But if I was being completely real with myself, I know that it kind of affects my family and friends. And that is, I don't know if you could see that. My phone is glued to Do Not Disturb. Like, I genuinely think my phone has been on Do Not Disturb so long that I probably can't even turn that option off anymore. Like, my phone is always on Do Not Disturb. So, yeah, I would admit that that is my toxic trait. Now, hear me out. You're probably thinking, okay, why is this significant in any way possible? And that is like, with me working on my mental state, with me working on bettering my anxiety, working on triggers, putting myself out there, I have to be completely honest and say, my phone not being on Do Not Disturb highly intenses my anxiety. I really can't explain what it is, but I could tell you this. Say my phone is not on Do Not Disturb, my anxiety is probably at like I'm gonna give the number as if like giving a ratio for my anxiety period, but what it feels like as well when my phone's not on Do Not Disturb. It's probably about a 9-10. Like, not even exaggerating. When my phone is placed back on Do Not Disturb, it probably goes back to like a 6 or 7. And it just gives me in that moment so much peace. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to, I would love to explain that and people completely get it and not be bothered by it. But I know that's not how it works, and it's not all about me. So I would love to one day, for one, to not even have a trigger like that anyways, because I completely understand how silly that probably sounds. But I would like to get into a place where it's not just for me, but it's for my loved ones. And yeah, so I kind of maybe wanted to give myself or put myself on like a little test, maybe for like 5 days. Keep my phone completely off, Do Not Disturb for about a week. And just kind of try to like wean myself off of it. And if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say like I'm just going to be this changed ass woman and on to bigger and better and I'm not there no more. Like, no, like if it doesn't stick, like I'm going to just say that. But baby steps. Trying it out, seeing how it goes, giving myself in that grace for that 5 days to be like, girl, it's probably not going to be easy and that's okay. Take a breath. Let's just see how it goes. Like, maybe the stress of it all will start to decline and maybe I'll feel better. Like, maybe it will just be the best outcome. But, I don't know. I kind of wanted to just, like, get that off my chest, too. Because I got to thinking, and that was just, like, one of my things. And I've literally jotted it down in my phone to talk about. Because I'm just, like, maybe... And because I thought about it. I'm like, maybe try to take your phone off of Do Not Disturb for, like, 3 days, 5 days. And just see what happens. When I say, it is so annoying. I literally don't know why I get so stuffy around this time. So sorry. But... So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys to the rest of your day or night. I got to go run to the beauty supply, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. I don't want to speak too much. I was about to actually say something, but I'm not going to say it. Like, I'm not. Like, I don't want to. Anyways.